I'm going to answer the meaning of life. The answer that everyone is waiting to hear. Should I skate flat or should I skate anti-rocker? Spoiler alert, I'm not going to answer that question because I can't. It's your personal preference as to what you dig.
Do you prefer anti-rocker or flat?
Flat. Massively. Loudly. I tell people that didn't even ask for my opinion that flat is a superior way of life.
Anti-rocker.
Thank you.
Anti-rocker for life. Pow!
Flat. Anti-rockers for the win.
Flat. Come on, anti-rocker.
Flat.
Doing that to me.
I skate anti here.
Yeah.
What I will do, however, is explain what flat is and what anti-rocker is. I'll break down the pros and cons of both. I'll sum it up and let you know what I've decided after this soul-searching journey that I've taken over the last month. What is flat and what is anti-rocker? To understand this, we need to take a trip back to the 90s, when the frame was riveted to the bottom of the boots and there was no such thing as replacement frames and definitely no such thing as UFS. If you skated all large wheels, you couldn't grind, unless you're John Pollard who invented Shifty Royale, but that's a different story for a different day. So there are a few options. 1, skate 4 large wheels and don't grind, or skate 4 tiny wheels and suffer because they were too slow. Remember, the skate parks were not nice, smooth concrete back then. They were chunky, rough as guts, and brutal if you ate shit. Because this wasn't ideal, there was a third option. Large wheels on the outside and small wheels on the inside. We have anti-rocker. And if you're wondering why they call it anti-rocker, that is because there was another setup that was called rocker. That was the opposite. This is when the 2 center wheels would protrude more than the front and rear wheels. This would make it easy to turn like a figure skater because only the 2 middle wheels were touching. The skate actually had plastic spaces that would sit in the frame and you could position them in various ways to set up your skates for the type of skating that you preferred. Side note here, these things used to break all the time. And when you would rotate your wheels and take your wheels off, they would crumble out like a melting moment. Anti-rocker was so good because you could get lots of speed from your large Cosmo wheels and still bust out grinds down a handrail. So it was perfect, right? End of video. No. The sport kept evolving and we started coming up with more grind tricks that involved using parts of the skates that we didn't even think of using previously. We started bending our ankles in ways the skates were not designed to flex. We started doing tricks like fish brains and various topside tricks. The skates also evolved. They started making grooves bigger. The skates started incorporating the Ufs Frames, Universal Frame System, that's called. So you could switch out your frames quickly and customize them to your liking. This is where things get interesting. Now, we have so many choices and we can set our skates up with lots of different options, but at the end of the day, you're still either skating on 4 wheels touching or 2 wheels touching, whether it be anti-rocker or rocker. That was a big chunk of history, so now we have that out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm focusing around grinding here because if you're not grinding, then it'd be really silly to ride anti-rocker, right? End of story. Unless you want to look badass. I just want to explain what this nasty little thing called wheel bite is. It happens when a wheel, usually a soft one, comes in contact with the grinding surface. Then the wheel grips up, bites, your momentum keeps going, and your shin, boom, is going to connect with the rail or the ledge. So wheel bite is bad news. Some pros for flat. They're faster, they're smoother, more responsive, less stress on the wheels, hardware, frames, bearings, spacers. Skating places from spot to spot is better because they don't bottom out. And some cons for flat is what we discussed before, wheel bite and more difficulty doing grinds. The pros for anti-rocker are it's really good for grinding, they're lighter, and then pretty much the opposite for the pros for flat. And the cons flip it. What have I decided? Will I ride flat or anti-rocker? As much as I've loved riding anti-rocker and how it made my grinding abilities so much better, I love skating flat. I love the speed, I love the responsiveness of 4 down. So I've actually purchased a new set of Caltech flat V2 frames. It's the best of both worlds. They've designed these frames that have more space for grinding and no wheel bite, and I get to ride flat. But this video isn't about them. It's about the journey that I went on to make sure that I was riding the right setup for me. I'll probably take this journey again in a couple of years and test out new gear that has been developed. To put a bow in the topic, I can't take the journey for you. You need to take it for yourself. And I recommend trying out both for at least a month each. You might be surprised with what you find out. Get out there, skate for fun, and enjoy it, whatever it feels better for you. You can even take advantage of UFS and switch up your frames each time you go for a skate, depending on the location. It's up to you. Thanks for watching. Over and out. Boom.